Hi friends, in this video we will discuss chapters of class 12th physics from the NCERT textbook. This is part 1 of the textbook. This book has got 8 chapters and we will begin with the first chapter. The first chapter is electric charges and fields, which I have written on this board also. So we'll start discussing with electric charges and fields, and this has got topics like electric charge, conductors and insulators, and how to conduct or how to charge a body by induction or conduction. And then we have example 1. We will end the first video with this, and then in the next videos we'll be proceeding with the next topics. So to begin with the first topic, this chapter is about electric charges. So we can classify electric charges as static electric charges and moving electric charges. Basically, this chapter is about electrostatics. And what is electrostatics? Electrostatics is something that deals with static electric charges. The electric charges, what kind of forces they exert, their fields and their electric potentials. So the word electric has generated from the word electron, which is a Greek word, to the substance amber. Some 1600 BC, before Christ, Thales of Miletus, he found that when amber was rubbed with silk or wool, amber got the property of attracting lighter objects, thin pieces of lighter objects, and then the concept of electrification or charging a body has come. In fact, when amber, which is an insulator, is rubbed with silk or wool, which are also insulators, both of them are electrified. When two charged amber pieces are brought closer, they will repel each other. Similarly, two charged silk or woolen threads or woolen cloths are brought closer to each other, they will also repel each other. But when amber and silk or amber and wool, which are electrically charged, and they are brought closer to each other, they'll try to attract each other. But they have to be away from each other to stay attracted. But once they are in contact with each other, the charges start flowing from one body to the other, and they'll go, or the transfer of charges occur till the neutralization occurs, till both amber, silk or wool are electrically neutral. And such combinations we have. Here the point is, this chapter talks about conductors and insulators. What is a conductor? Conductor is a substance which has got free electric charges in them. That means all metals are conductors. Insulators are substances which has got no free electric charges in them. In the periodic table chart, if you happen to see, we have left side all metals which are conductors. Right side we have all non-metals which are insulators, and a thin line of elements, carbon family, but not carbon. Next to carbon, silicon, germanium, those all. That's a thin line between metals and non-metals, means conductors and insulators. Between them, that thin line of elements are semiconductors, which are in general neither conductors nor insulators, but under certain conditions, they behave like conductors. And in this chapter, what is the role of conductors? Role of conductors will come when an electrically charged substance, like say amber, is kept in contact with a conductor, the charge transfer occurs to the conductor, and those charges evenly distribute themselves throughout the body of the conductor. But if an electrically charged substance like amber is kept in contact with an insulator, then charge transfer definitely occurs, but those charges stay accumulated at one place on the insulator. They are not distributed throughout the body of the insulator. So this is what we have to understand about conductors and insulator in this chapter. So amber and silk, they can electrically charge themselves by friction or by rubbing them. Such combinations we still have, like a glass rod, When it is rubbed with same silk or wool, they electrify each other. Similarly, when plastic is rubbed with fur, say cat's fur, they also electrically charge each other. And here, by convention, it was taken that amber, glass rod, fur acquire positive charge on them, and silk, wool, plastic acquire negative charge on them when they are rubbed with each other. The positive and negative words are coined by Benjamin Franklin. So Benjamin Franklin was a person who gave the conventional terms to these charged bodies. Conventional terms are what? Positive charge and negative charge. Then that these are charged bodies. How do we sense or how do we see the charge in an electrically charged body? That can be done using an arrangement called gold leaf electroscope. Gold leaf electroscope is an arrangement where the electrically charged particles behavior or properties can be seen. What properties electric charges which are positive or negative possess? We know that like charges repel and unlike charges attract. Okay, so positive and negative terms are only terminologies given by Benjamin Franklin. So what is a gold leaf electroscope? Gold leaf electroscope consists of a closed enclosure. If possible, it is a transparent enclosure. So let us consider a glass bottle. A glass bottle which is closed via a cork, and through the glass bottle a metal rod is inserted, and above the metal rod a metallic sphere. So this one is a metallic sphere. So metallic sphere, and this is a metal rod. At the end of the metal rod, fine strips of gold or aluminium. So gold or aluminium strips are placed, connected. So this is how a gold leaf electroscope looks like. Now say we have a glass rod or amber or fur or a inflated balloon which is rubbed against our hair, which are electrically charged. Such a charged body, we bring it in contact with this metal sphere. So say this, we have a positively charged glass rod, and this is kept in contact with the metallic sphere. As we know that conductors, if conductors are connected to a charged body, the charge that is produced, the charge that is transferred from a charged body like glass rod, say for example, that evenly distributes itself throughout the body of this metallic sphere instead of getting accumulated at one place the way it happens in insulators. So this evenly distributed charged particles which are transferred from the charged body to the metallic sphere starts traveling all the way through the metallic rod, and they reach the gold or aluminium strips. So prior to this charge transfer, the gold or aluminium strips will be somewhat like closer. The moment the electric charge transfer occurs to both the strips, because like charges repel, all of a sudden these gold or aluminium strips start fluttering away. That means there will be enough amount of repulsion that is seen between the gold or aluminium strips, and they start fluttering with a lot of intensity, with lot of force. So the amount of fluttering or amount of repulsion or amount of divergence that these gold or aluminum strips give, that decides the amount of charge that is sent through this metallic sphere via the metallic rod to the gold or aluminum.